Hi, welcome to another episode of Cold Fusion.
From home.
Exactly. I felt really inspired. It's like,
Yeah.
Mummy. Sasha, sweetie, Mummy's just talking to Daddy.
What if the life that guaranteed success for your parents is quietly becoming obsolete? For decades, the formula seemed simple. Study hard, get good grades, earn a degree, find a stable job, work your way up, retire comfortably. It was a roadmap followed by millions of people across the world. And for a long time, it worked. But something has changed. Today, some of the fastest growing companies are run by small teams. Entire careers are being reshaped by technology. Skills are becoming outdated faster than ever before. And many people who followed the traditional path perfectly are discovering that the promises they were given no longer feel as certain as they once did. The unsettling question is this: what if traditional success isn't disappearing tomorrow? What if it's already disappearing today and most people simply haven't noticed yet? In 1970, if you wanted a better life, the path was relatively clear. Get an education, find a stable employer. Work hard, stay loyal, climb the ladder. For millions of people, that formula worked. A single income could often support a family. A long career at one company wasn't unusual, and every promotion felt like a step toward a predictable future. The system wasn't perfect, but it was understandable. Then something happened. The world changed faster than the rules. And most people didn't notice, because revolutions don't always arrive with explosions. Sometimes they arrive quietly. One technological breakthrough at a time, one economic shift at a time, one industry at a time. Today, we're living through one of the biggest transformations in modern history. Yet many people are still operating with assumptions that belong to a different era. Consider education. For decades, a university degree was treated as one of the safest investments a person could make. And in many cases, it still provides enormous value. But the relationship between education and opportunity is no longer as straightforward as it once was. Information that was once locked inside universities is now available online. Skills can be learned from anywhere. A teenager with a laptop can access knowledge that would have been unimaginable just a generation ago. Meanwhile, employers increasingly care about what people can do, not simply what credentials they possess. The old signals still matter, but they matter less than before. The same thing is happening in the workplace. For most of the 20th century, companies rewarded predictability. Employees who followed procedures, fit into systems, and remained reliable often enjoyed stable careers. Today's economy values something different: adaptability, creativity, problem solving, the ability to learn quickly, the ability to work with emerging technologies, the ability to create value in environments that are constantly changing. The problem is that many people were never trained for this world. They were trained for stability, a world where the future looks similar to the past. But stability is becoming increasingly rare. Look at how quickly entire industries have transformed. Retail, media, transportation, entertainment, finance. The companies dominating these sectors today often didn't exist a few decades ago. Some of the world's most valuable businesses own very few physical assets compared to industrial giants of the past. Instead, they own platforms, software networks, data, ideas. This would have sounded strange to previous generations, but it's the reality of the modern economy. And perhaps the biggest shift of all is happening in how value is created. In the past, success often came from access to information, access to distribution, access to capital, access to opportunity. Today, many of those barriers have fallen. A creator can reach millions from a bedroom. An entrepreneur can start a global business with tools that cost almost nothing. A skilled individual can compete internationally without ever stepping into a traditional office. The gatekeepers haven't disappeared completely, but their power is weaker than it once was, and that's creating both opportunity and uncertainty. Because whenever old systems weaken, new systems emerge. Some people recognize the change early and adapt. Others continue following a map that no longer leads where it once did. That's why so many intelligent, hard-working people feel confused today. They're doing what worked for previous generations, yet the results often seem less certain, less predictable, less rewarding. The uncomfortable truth is that traditional success isn't collapsing because people stopped working hard. It's changing because the environment itself has changed. The world that created the old rules is disappearing. And the people who thrive in the coming decades may not be the ones who follow those rules most faithfully. They may be the ones who realize the rules have already changed, and that's where the real story begins. Whenever an old system begins to weaken, people naturally ask the same question: what comes next? History shows that major shifts rarely eliminate opportunity. They change where opportunity exists. The Industrial Revolution didn't end success, it changed who could achieve it. The rise of the internet didn't destroy wealth creation, it created entirely new forms of it. And the transformation happening today is no different. The traditional model of success was built around predictability. Learn the right information. Follow the established path, accumulate experience, move steadily upward. The new model rewards something else: adaptability. Because knowledge is no longer scarce, change is constant. And the ability to learn may become more valuable than what you already know. Think about some of the fastest growing careers and businesses of the last 2 decades. Many barely existed a generation ago. Content creators, app developers, digital entrepreneurs, AI specialists, online educators, independent consultants. These opportunities weren't part of the traditional roadmap. They emerged because technology changed the environment, and that process is accelerating. The people who succeed in this world aren't necessarily the smartest. They're often the fastest learners. The people willing to update their skills, rethink assumptions, and adapt when circumstances change. This creates an uncomfortable reality. The future may belong less to specialists who rely on a single skill for decades and more to individuals who continuously reinvent themselves. That doesn't mean expertise is unimportant, quite the opposite. But expertise alone is no longer enough. A person can spend years mastering a skill only to discover that technology has transformed the industry around it. The challenge isn't just becoming good at something, it's staying relevant while the world evolves. And that's where many people struggle. Because humans naturally seek certainty, we want guarantees, clear paths, reliable outcomes. The old model of success offered those things, at least to some degree. The new model offers something different: possibility, greater freedom, greater opportunity, but also greater responsibility. No one can guarantee the future anymore. Not governments, not employers, not universities, not even experts. The responsibility for adaptation increasingly falls on the individual. For some people, that's terrifying. For others, it's exciting because it means your future is becoming less dependent on institutions and more dependent on your ability to create value. That's a profound shift. And perhaps the biggest mistake people make is assuming that traditional success is disappearing overnight. It isn't. Many traditional careers remain valuable. Many degrees remain useful. Many established paths still work. The issue is that they're no longer the only paths, and they no longer offer the certainty they once did. We're living in a transition period, a moment when 2 worlds exist at the same time, one built on stability, the other built on adaptability. One rewards compliance, the other rewards initiative. One depends on following proven systems, the other depends on learning how to navigate uncertainty. The people who thrive won't necessarily be those who reject tradition entirely. They'll be the ones who understand which parts of the old model still matter and which parts belong to the past, because success itself isn't ending, far from it. What's ending is the assumption that there's only one acceptable way to achieve it. And for those willing to recognize that shift, the future may contain more opportunity than any generation has ever seen. The question is whether you'll spend the next decade preparing for the world that used to exist, or the world that's already taking shape around you. I'm curious to hear your perspective. Do you think the traditional path, education, career, and corporate ladder, is still the best route to success today? Or do you believe we're entering a completely different era? Share your thoughts in the comments below. The most interesting conversations often happen when people with different experiences challenge each other's assumptions. And if you enjoy exploring the forces reshaping wealth, work, technology, and society, subscribe and join us for the next deep dive. Because understanding the future is often the first step toward thriving in it.